What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's get into Smackdown from May the 31st, 2024. A pretty decent show for the most part. So we kicked the show off with Nick Aldis. He introduced everyone to the Queen of the Ring winner, Nia Jax, and then after that he exited the ring. So Nia Jax says it's a fact that she is our Queen of the Ring, and it's a fact that as the Queen, she gets a title shot at SummerSlam. Then she demands that Bayley come out now. So Bayley's music plays. She comes out, but then she's immediately attacked by Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Piper Niven and Chelsea Green beat the shit out of Bayley. And then Chelsea Green gets on the mic and tells Nia that Nia doesn't have to worry about facing Bayley at SummerSlam because by the time SummerSlam rolls around, her new women's champion will be Piper Niven. So Nia Jax tells them that she doesn't give a damn who the champion is because she's going to annihilate her regardless. And then Nia Jax drops the mic and dips out. And that was the end of that segment. So this lasted for about all of 3 minutes. This was okay. I have nothing against this at all. I don't. I think this was an okay way to start the show. Do a little short and sweet segment. And this was pretty okay. However, Nia Jax and Piper Niven, I don't even know why we had to even see that stare down. But okay. It just seems like Bayley is going to definitely lose at SummerSlam. It feels like Bayley has been directionless since she won the title at WrestleMania. And she hasn't done much of anything. So she just seems like she's going to be another transitional champion. She's in that Damian Priest / Swerve Strickland role. That's the role that Bayley is in right now. That's what it seems like. Moving on. So, Nick Aldis is backstage. He's entering his office. AJ Styles is sitting on the couch. AJ tells Nick Aldis that he thought about what Nick Aldis said last week, and if there was time, he would appreciate addressing his future tonight. Nick Aldis says that he can find him the time and ask AJ if there's something he wants to tell him. AJ says it'll be hard enough to do it once. He would like to do it just once in the ring tonight. And then both of them shake hands, and that was the end of the segment. So that's fine. So AJ is basically, quote-unquote, teasing his retirement. Interesting stuff. Moving on. So Bayley is backstage. She's getting checked out by the trainer. So Naomi comes in and asks her why are they getting away with this, meaning Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. So Naomi asks Bayley if she's good enough to fight tonight. Bayley says she is. And then Naomi says she's going to go talk to Nick Aldis to make the match official. Okay, that's fine. Seems like a heel turn from one Naomi, because she could have came out there earlier on, but she didn't. So Naomi turning heel slowly, pretty good shit. I'm actually for that. She has not been heel since her Team Bad days with a.k.a. Sasha Banks at the time and Tamina at the time, and that was around 2015 when that all took place, so almost basically a decade ago. So that's fine. That's pretty cool. I like that. This is interesting. Triple H is doing pretty good in that department when it comes to Naomi turning heel, possibly. That'd be pretty cool. Moving on. First match of the night. Oh, my God. Tommaso Ciampa versus Austin Theory. Grayson Waller was on commentary. So, basically, towards the end of the match, someone said on commentary that Austin Theory used to be with the Way and everything else. That kind of pissed off Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller said to, I believe it was to both Corey Graves and to Wade Barrett, that Austin Theory is relevant because of Grayson Waller, because he's gotten the Grayson Waller rub. And so Austin Theory overhears this, and he begins to argue with Grayson Waller, and then he gets rolled up by Tommaso Ciampa. Who gives a fuck? I don't care about Austin Theory turning face. This makes zero sense. For what? Why would you break this team up? Why? This is so damn stupid. Come on, Triple H. DIY is not over. They're not over. They fucking suck. The only member that I like of DIY is Tommaso Ciampa. But Tommaso Ciampa is just a solid mid-carder. And that's it. I don't get it. I don't get why Triple H is trying to push DIY. I don't get it. This is not NXT Black and Gold anymore. This is the main roster, okay? Get over it. My God. I'm not a fan of this. I'm just not. It's like Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are a good duo. Keep them together. Don't split them up. Please. Ugh. I'm not a fan of this. Moving on. So, Nick Aldis is backstage with Blair Davenport. So, they're having a little conversation, but it's interrupted by Naomi, who says enough is enough. Her and Bayley want a match tonight against Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. So Nick Aldis makes that official. Blair Davenport says that she's bothering her, and with time, she'll know exactly who she is. So Blair leaves the office and dips out. Nick Aldis tells Naomi that her match is on. So LA Knight comes in, who asks Nick Aldis if AJ is really going to retire. And Nick Aldis says he doesn't know. LA Knight says he can't find Logan Paul, and Nick Aldis tells LA Knight to have a seat. So I like this. This is good. I'm glad that we're gonna get a Logan Paul versus LA Knight feud. That's great. That's where LA Knight is served best. I think him being a mid-card champion, that's perfectly fine. This gives him something to do. And I think it'll be a great little feud between Logan Paul and LA Knight. I'm a fan of both guys. So, that's good shit right there. Moving on. So, LA Knight comes out of Nick Aldis' office, and Kayla Braxton's out there waiting, standing out there. So, she stops LA Knight, and he tells Kayla that Nick Aldis didn't have much time for him. The only thing he had for him was that Logan Paul was not here this week. That just means that he'll talk to her next week. He says wrong, because he's here tonight, and what that means is he's not going to get the answer he wants. He'll tell Logan Paul what he wants. LA Knight says that he wants the United States Championship. Excuse me. So Carmelo Hayes comes into play for whatever reason. And Carmelo says that LA Knight does a lot of talking, but he's never saying anything. Carmelo Hayes tells him why Logan Paul wants to face him and not a first-round draft pick. So Carmelo Hayes says that Logan Paul knows ball, and LA Knight is not that. If he wants to talk the talk, LA Knight's going to... if he wants to talk the talk, LA Knight is the guy, but if he wants to walk the walk, Carmelo Hayes is him. Okay. This is fine here. We're still continuing this side quest feud with Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight. I'm fine with this. Maybe we do a number one contender match. Winner of that faces Logan Paul. Maybe at either Clash at the Castle or Money in the Bank, or maybe even SummerSlam. let's just say, hypothetically, that it is a number one contender match next week. Winner faces Logan Paul at Clash at the Castle, or let's just say Money in the Bank. Let's just say LA Knight wins next week, and then we go into Clash at the Castle. LA Knight versus Logan Paul. LA Knight loses his first match. Second match, he loses to Logan Paul. And then the third match, let's say at SummerSlam, is when LA Knight wins. So that's what they might do. I'm actually down for that decision. And, that would be really good. But Carmelo Hayes is okay. But I don't know how he's going to fare going forward after his feud with LA Knight is over with. I don't know what you do with him going forward. I don't. I mean, you could either do LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes after LA Knight dethrones Logan Paul. You could go that route. I don't know. It's a couple things you can do with Carmelo Hayes. Moving on. So, we see a clip earlier on in the day involving Andrade. He's entering the arena, and he's stopped by Angel Garza. Angel Garza tells Andrade that he spoke to the guys in Legado Del Fantasma, and they're willing to forgive him for what he did at WrestleMania and to join them. He tells Angel, that being Andrade, thank you, but no thank you. So he's basically declining the offer of Legado, and that's a bad fucking move. So this leads us into Andrade versus Apollo Crews, which is great. Apollo Crews is back on the main roster. We haven't seen him in months. So Andrade gets the win via the message. Post-match, Andrade leaves the ring, and he walks right past Legado. So Santos takes off his sunglasses. He's pissed off. And then Angel Garza, he apologizes and runs to the back. So Andrade is not too happy. My bad, not Andrade, but Santos is not too happy about this. I like this. This is leading to a Santos Escobar and Andrade feud. I'm down for that. That's going to fucking bang. Let's get that popping. Moving on. So we get some Bloodline stuff. So Solo Sikoa is backstage with Paul Heyman. Solo is talking to them, that being Guerrillas of Destiny, a.k.a. God. And Solo says to put an end to the Street Profits. So Paul Heyman comes in, and he tells Solo that he's been doing a lot of thinking about how he can better serve Solo while Solo is in charge. Paul Heyman tells him that with Roman as the tribal chief, there was a lot of violence in the bloodline, but that was to preserve the family and what we're working for, and what they're working for. And before Roman ever even said yes to an act of violence, there was a lot of counsel from the wise man. He sees Solo recruiting some very violent men into the bloodline, and all he sees are random acts of violence, but he doesn't see any strategy at all. He says the strategy has to be that when Roman comes back, when they have Cody Rhodes in check. So Solo retorts and tells Paul Heyman that they got Cody in check, and he doesn't even know it. Paul Heyman asks, who is we? And then the segment ends. Kevin Owens' music hits. And Solo tells Paul Heyman that they have a strategy, and Heyman better go out there and fix the Kevin Owens problem right now. Okay, this is fine. I do like how Paul Heyman is still scared of Guerrillas of Destiny being involved in the bloodline. So that, is pretty good there. I like that. Really good stuff there. How Paul Heyman is constantly extremely hesitant to even embrace these guys, which is good. So I do like this. Moving on. Andrade is backstage. So in comes Angel Garza. Apollo Crews attacks Angel Garza for whatever reason from behind, and then officials break it up. That to me was odd. That was odd. I have no idea why that even occurred. That makes zero sense. Isn't Apollo supposed to be a baby face? I don't know. I mean, it's cool. Moving on. So, Kevin Owens. Oh, my God. He's out next. Kevin Owens says last week he made his return to SmackDown. He went all the way to Saudi Arabia to do it because he wanted to make sure that he had Randy Orton's back. He says over the last few months, even the last few years, Randy has had his back, and he wanted to make sure that Solo and his crew weren't going to ruin Randy's chances at becoming King of the Ring. Kevin Owens says that Randy isn't King of the Ring, but we all saw what happened. He didn't lose. And while Randy isn't here tonight, he does know who is here tonight, and that's Solo and his little crew. So Paul Heyman comes out. He said that he served almost 4 years for the tribal chief Roman Reigns, and in his absence, he served as the wise man for Solo and the Bloodline. It is within that capacity that he comes out to talk to Kevin Owens, man to man, professional to professional, father to father, and thinks there is mutual interest in all. I mean, my bad. As he thinks there is a mutual interest at the moment that he's hoping he can serve. So, a "We Want Roman" chant breaks out. Paul Heyman says that he doesn't think that there's a person in the arena that wants Roman here more than he does. Paul Heyman says that Kevin Owens keeps calling out Solo, and Roman Reigns had and has had respect for Kevin Owens. And anything Kevin Owens went through with Roman was because of how much Roman respected and admired him. Even acknowledged him as a true threat to his championship. Paul Heyman says Solo has no respect for him. Heyman and Roman turned down people to join the Bloodline. These are the people that Kevin Owens are picking a fight with. They're not people. They're the bloodthirsty, sadistic thugs. And that's bad for WWE. Paul Heyman says he likes Kevin Owens in WWE. Yada, yada, yada. So Kevin Owens asked Paul Heyman if he's really out there to help him. Kevin Owens asked him, what in the last few years has he done to make him believe that? He is not falling for the act. He knows all this is Heyman trying to pull the string. He went from Brock to Roman so he can keep himself relevant, and now it's Solo. He's not falling for it. He said he's going to fight the Bloodline regardless. He's had to battle them for 4 years. They handcuffed him. They serial kicked him. They hit him with a golf cart, and he had a great time doing all that, and he's still standing. He said, but that Bloodline was a group that he respected. That was Roman, Jay, and Jimmy. He doesn't respect Solo and the two guys that's not from the Bloodline. So, Kevin Owens says he's going to keep fighting them and make sure to get them out of his world. And as for Heyman's help goes, he doesn't want it and he doesn't need it. So, Paul Heyman says maybe he was trying to save Kevin Owens. They may have met each other's families. Paul Heyman asks if he can redeem himself. Kevin Owens has redeemed himself plenty of times, but apparently Paul Heyman can't. He calls the Bloodline thugs, and he's a Hall of Fame wise man. Paul Heyman asks why no one will believe him, and he accidentally throws the microphone into Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens looks pissed off and confused. And then out comes the Bloodline. They have a little fight scene with Kevin Owens real quick. And the Street Profits, they come out. They have a little brawl. And that was the end of the segment. This is fine. So the Bloodline, they defeat the Street Profits. Makes sense. So, down for that. This was an okay segment. The crowd was really into this. Moving on. So Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, they're walking backstage. So Indy Cartwell comes in, who tells them that Kenneth is stuck at home because of them. Bianca tells her that Kenneth went after her first. Kenneth started it and Bianca finished it. Bianca tells her that she'll gladly take her out too. So this is fine, I guess. Not really all that important. Moving on, Kayla Braxton is backstage with Mia Yim, a.k.a. Michin. Michin tells Kayla that AJ Styles is not really talking to them. So Nia Jax comes into play, who tells her they should be talking about her and not AJ Styles. So Michin gets in Nia Jax's face, and Nia Jax tells her that she's going to regret that and walks away. Okay, this is fine. Moving on. So Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, they defeat Naomi and Bayley. This is good stuff here. Moving on from that. AJ Styles walking backstage. He's stopped by LA Knight. LA Knight says if the rumors are true, he's got respect for AJ. So AJ nods and then he continues to walk. He bumps into one Cody Rhodes. Both of them, they shake hands. And AJ whispers something into Cody's ear. And then AJ keeps walking in. He's stopped by the club, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Who gives a shit? They all hug. And AJ tells them that they've been through a lot together. And he wants them to come out with him. So this is the final segment. So AJ Styles comes out. He goes over the highlight of his career. He said that him and Cody Rhodes had one of the best matches in history at Backlash in Lyon, France. He mentions his son's graduation and how it made him tear up and everything, and how he maybe just wants to stay at home and become a phenomenal father. So AJ then tells Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson to join him. They do the two sweet. And he says before he leaves, he whispers something in Cody's ear. He asks Cody if he wants to come out. So Cody then obliges. He comes out. AJ says that the crowd was electric, and if he was going to have one last match, that would be it. But this is still the house that AJ Styles built. And he said he called Cody out to hand him the keys. Cody says that they've only ever exchanged only one text message after the match at Backlash. He wanted to know if he was okay, and AJ's response was, "I'm all good, little bro." So Cody says he can say a lot about AJ Styles' decision, but on behalf of him in the locker room, that he was a big bro for. Thank you very much. So they both embraced, they hug in the ring and everything. The fans are erupting, the roof's blowing off the place. So AJ raises Cody's hand, Cody raises AJ's hand, and then they go on to one more embrace, and then AJ then clotheslines Cody. He throws him into the steel steps. And then AJ Styles hits the Styles Clash on the mat outside the ring. And then Corey Graves says on commentary, AJ Styles, you son of a bitch. Well, he didn't say bitch, but he said, this was great. I love this. This was excellent. This is an excellent segment. This was great. I loved how they did the whole Mark Henry angle. Because I predicted that either AJ was going to possibly attack Nick Aldis and have AJ Styles feud with Nick Aldis, but they went and did Cody and AJ too, which is fine. I'm down for that. This is great. This gives AJ Styles a lot of fucking heat. I love this. I love this. This was great. This was great. So maybe we get AJ and Cody at Clash at the Castle, or maybe Money in the Bank, but probably Clash at the Castle. So this is great. This makes perfect sense. Again, SmackDown this week was pretty okay. The AJ stuff was great. AJ Cody stuff was great. Didn't care too much for the matches, all that much. And there's still a little side quest feuds going on. It's interesting to see what they're going to do with Logan Paul and LA Knight, as well as Carmelo Hayes in the coming weeks. But we shall see. But what did you guys think of SmackDown? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.